We are green, and I will be dropping the link. Here we go. This is my first time getting tag teamed in a while, guys.
Hey.
So
I'm glad we're the guys to do
it. Bear with me if I'm a little rusty.
No worries.
No worries. Jinx.
All right. So everyone that is watching, here is a link to the Kickstarter of what we're going to be talking about today. Superguy issue 2, My Date with the President's Daughter. Dude, fucking awesome. It gave me such the Red Hulk versus Captain America vibes, like just that initial fight scene. I fucking loved it, man.
Hell
I
yeah.
loved it.
You know, it's funny, that movie actually did something that we did in the one shot, way back in the one shot, which is destroy the White House.
Oh, dude, yeah. Oh no, and I love how that's referenced too. The continuity in this is like surprisingly like fucking pretty solid. Even just talking backstage. And kind of like just getting an idea of how everything's carrying over to the second issue. I really love that too. That is something I always kind of look for in comics, and it's you know I get it, but it kind of sucks when it gets reset, right? Like you want to see that damage, you want to see like what was the what's the thing? I think it's Marvel damage control, like where it's like deals with the fallout of superheroes and shit. I always thought that was such a cool concept, like because you've seen like the after effects.
Yeah, it feels more realistic. To me, it felt funnier, like if the city was still destroyed. You know, kind of like how like Man of Steel, their fights will destroy the city. Power Rangers, you know, every episode the city gets destroyed. But in the Power Rangers, what always bugged me, even as a kid, was that the next episode the city's fine. Like the city's constantly being stomped on by giant monsters, but then it's fine. You know, it's kind of dumb. So I like that we could keep it that way, and like as you know, Joey's art, like I hope like, you know, I'm not forcing him to like have a tougher job because we're keeping the damage, but I love it.
No, I'm sure he has a little voodoo doll where he just stabs every time. He's like, all right, we'll do this. Like, so we are.
And one thing I do like though is about like, you know, the city keeps its damage, but the White House keeps getting rebuilt. Like it gets destroyed at the and then one shot, and then at the beginning of the issue 1, it's like, it just got rebuilt, and like we see where the budget priorities are for the prez. Like screw the city, like we're fixing the White House first. It's gonna be pristine, and then you know ultimately it'll keep getting destroyed, which is hilarious to me.
So we are green across the board, joined by our good friend Tipsy over on Twitch, live on Twitch and YouTube, by the way. I'm good to go as long as you guys are.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
All right, give me 1 second. We're gonna make sure we have the Kickstarter ready, primed and ready to go. Let's begin in 3, 2, 1. Yo, what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to yet again another fantastic episode of Keeping It Geekly. It's your Cape Crusader Cody, and we're hanging out with our returning guest Anthony, and joined by the series artist Joey Murphy of Superguy issue 2, My Date with the President's Daughter. I had a chance to read this backstage. I loved it. I love all the Easter eggs in it. And it's always a blast to get you back on, Anthony. We had such a good time last time. You know, it's good to get my podcast bro back on.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to be back. It's always fun, and I'm glad we got really cool mic covers now.
Yeah. I told you, like, I seen that out backstage. I was like, dude, please tell me, where'd you get that? Like, man, you just go here. I'm like, dude, say less. Also, congratulations on welcoming a new one. Always a fancy time. I am jealous, though. Everyone that is watching, you know, audio listeners, you're missing out. So head over to YouTube if you're listening audio. But these two have like dashing red jackets. I have just a battered like hoodie. I feel left out.
Hey,
do you guys plan this for every podcast? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Superguy chic. We got our robes just like Superguy.
Yeah.
No, I love that. And speaking of Superguy, that's what we're here to talk about. So, Anthony, what's been up since last time? Last time we had you on, we were talking about issue 1. So what have you been up to since then?
As soon as issue 1 was done, we were working on issue 2, you know, like we were ready for this to come out, you know. We worked on it for the past year. It's really been my main focus, you know. It's definitely the project that I'm putting the most love into, and because I just want to see it succeed, you know. We have a lot of plans for Superguy, and it's just been really fun to work on. So it's hard to like, you know, I'm not if I have my focus is all on Superguy. It's hard to distract myself with other things at this point, you know, like so that's honestly been what I've been doing the last year. Yeah.
And we are welcoming our new guest, Joey Murphy. Welcome to the stream. Tell
Good
us
to
a
be
little
here.
bit about yourself and how you got into comics.
I'm living in Los Angeles now, but born and raised in Alaska, and just been drawing like literally ever since I can remember. Like some of my earliest memories, I have like pen or pencil and like a stapled set of paper that I made into my own little
That's
makeshift
so cool, though.
sketchbook. Yeah, like we're going on a trip. All right, I'm gonna draw. We're going to the store. All right, I'm gonna draw. You know. But yeah, I've been drawing and like just illustrating and throwing my stuff on Instagram for like a couple decades now, and only recently have I kind of gotten into the world of like comic book uh, art and illustration. I did a few things like back in the past just for myself, like this little thing that I did in high school, Buzz Flight Gear, which is basically a spaceman spiff homage. And I did a few things for like Inktober a couple years back, but like as far as full length, superhero comic book printed on paper and all that stuff, this is my very first situation, which has been a blast so far. And I'm excited to see where this goes.
We have a new friend over on YouTube. I live in Alaska. I never hear about anyone being from there. Pretty cool. Yeah, my sister actually lives over in Alaska, so I mean it's pretty cool. It is pretty cool about hearing about there. And we have our good friend Louise from Comic Book Yeti joining us as well. So welcome everybody. How did you two meet, Anthony? Give us the details. Like was this an artist that you searched out, or did you guys know each other and just how did that work between you two?
So I host a podcast, Comics and Chronic, and so it's with my co-hosts Jake and Cody. Jake knows Joey. They both live in LA. And when we started the podcast, we needed a logo. And Joey was like the first guy for that job, the only guy for that job. And made such a badass logo. Love that logo. It stands out so much.
It's pretty cool.
It's awesome. And obviously because of that, I was just like, I got to do something with Joey one day. I don't know what that thing is, but he's so talented. I want to do something more than just like a logo for a podcast, right? So, the same thing with like my love for comics. Like I always wanted to write a comic, but like, how do I do that? Where do I start? Like, where is my entry point? And we got where I got a message on Twitter from one of my friends, Hunter. He put together with James Santana anthology called Unknown Heroes, and they wanted to know if I wanted to do a story for that. It would be a 10-page story, and the only subject is that it's like a superhero team up, so you can do anything with that you want. So I thought of a few ideas, but the first artist I reached out to was Joey, because this was the moment I was like, okay, Joey is an artist that I talk to often. We get along. I love his work. And I want to do something with him. So I hit him up. He sounded, right away, just like a lot of the stuff that we deal with Superguy, like we're pretty much on the same page from Jump Street.
Yeah.
And it just kind of goes from there. Like I threw him a few ideas. We both land on Superguy. It's like easily the main choice. We do the one shot. We love the one shot. It gets a good reception. We're like, okay, let's do the first issue. First issue did well on Kickstarter. Okay, let's keep doing this thing. Like it just it's there's so much momentum right now. And it just kind of feels like, I don't know. I'm so glad I met Joey, because I don't know, like I really don't know, dude. Like how like comics is so mystifying, like I didn't know how I was ever gonna make one. But now we've made at this point 3, which is so awesome,
Oh, yeah.
So Joey, was this your first time diving into comic like sequential arts, or did you have previous? You said you worked on stuff before, like for yourself.
Yeah, just like I had done my own like little stories, so like I had experience in doing that and like reading comic books and kind of understanding like generally like the flow of how to do it. So it wasn't really like a new for me, but
What about
the
working
rest
with
of it
a
was pretty new.
writer?
That was new, yeah, because the other stuff was just my own thing, so like I had full control. But I don't know, it just came so naturally, I guess, with Anthony, that I didn't even really think about it. just it wasn't really anything different than what I had been doing. It's just the pages were already written. I didn't have to do that part. So, the hard part was over.
So you just get to do the fun part, the drawing,
Oh,
the
yeah.
designing.
Yeah.
And last podcast, we talked a tremendous amount about the interiors, about the little attention, the details. How the Robotguy like turns colors when he goes from evil to good.
Yeah, his eyes, like that's a really important detail.
Yes. We talked about that, and I thought it was so cool. And it's just the way you guys work together. It really does feel in sync. Backstage, we were talking. It's cool to talk about the book in its entirety, right?
Or
what's yes.
I don't want to spoil too much. Like, we have the first 8 pages up. Although the title of issue 2 is My Date with the President's Daughter, right? So it's kind of clear what's happening in that issue. If it's what you mentioned backstage, totally fine.
Okay,
I don't mind.
Perfect.
I
really love too how you hid that Easter egg, the tally on the wall. That was such a cool thing. And man, Superguy, he still sucks this issue.
He hasn't really grown much.
Nope.
As a person.
Anthony, for anyone who might be listening or tuning in for the first time, can you tell us about kind of what happened within the first issue?
Sure. So the first issue, Superguy is, it's really everyone's first introduction to him. We have the one shot, but like this is the first full issue. It's issue 1. We have Superguy, who is a lazy Superman, and his robot sidekick, who is what we learn in the one shot is he came here to invade Earth. He was hit by a bolt of lightning. He's reprogrammed to be Superguy's sidekick. In this issue, we see him being not only a sidekick, but like a true hero. He's the one that saves the big city where they're from being hit by a meteor. Superguy doesn't want anything to do with it. He's too busy. He's tired. He needs a nap. But of course, he takes the credit. That's Superguy's MO. Robotguy or anyone else does the work, he takes the credit. Everyone loves him. And Robotguy just kind of steps up. He saves the city. And then he runs through a gauntlet of Superguy's villains. And Superguy catches this on the news because Robotguy is being praised. People are like, there's this new robot. He's saving the day. Superguy hates this. His ego is being threatened, right? So now he's going to step in and actually use his powers and fight Robotguy. Because that's the only way he's getting off the couch, He's literally fighting in a robe, which is why we're wearing the robe. He's in his undies. He's wearing pink Crocs. I'm also wearing pink Crocs.
There's something about Crocs. Dude, I was so not for Crocs. I was against Crocs. Let it be known. I was
same here.
And dude, I slipped some on. I had to go outside real quick, and I didn't want to put the shoes on. I didn't want to lace up, So I'm like, you know what, whatever. I'll put my girl's Crocs on. Comfortable, tremendously comfortable, I was changed.
It's like from that day forward. Cloud.
Yeah, dude, I fucking rock them. Like I go to school, drop off, like sweats, fucking sweatshirt, like Crocs. I'm like, I don't give a damn, dude.
Yeah,
but they are amazingly comfortable.
And that's your choice, Joey. That was an example of like this is something because you said you didn't want to draw feet.
If I can avoid drawing feet, especially bare feet, at any cost, I will take that. And so early on in the process, I was like, I can't. So I just threw on what's the funniest shoe that, of course, Superguy would be wearing. Oh yeah, Crocs, like pink Crocs. That's hilarious. And it's so much easier than having to draw otherwise he would be in bare feet, or maybe socks, anything. But Crocs are funnier. So
when you were designing this character, I know we talked a little bit about the Crocs, but what else went into his appearance?
I don't know. Like when I was first designing him, I was just thinking like what made Superman and Batman, their silhouettes like iconic. And you got the big broad chin and like the big muscles. And I was like, that's it. But it's Superguy. He's not going to be like ripped because he's just lazy and like on the couch as much as he can. So like we're going to kind of make this big triangular shape a little more triangular this way, give him a bit more of a belly, like he's still got like thick arms, but like he's just a big guy, and then maybe round off that chin a little bit so it's not like the Batman just like, oh, he's got some jowlage, and threw a little 5 o'clock shadow in there, and it was pretty. That's pretty much it. Like something kind of goofy looking, but like not too goofy looking.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of tell that he's a jerk, but like he's rounded, so like you don't hate him. Like he's not like a bad guy. He's too round for that. Like he's just not a good dude. But
Yeah,
like you still kind of like him, but you love to hate him.
I
I
love
mean,
the idea of him because he's very much not a hero, but takes all the
No.
credit for being one. But you really can't call him a villain-ish.
No.
Yeah, so
No.
it's like where are we at with this? And I think you guys do such a great job of balancing that throughout the story. One thing I really loved was the continuity. There's such strong continuity within the series. Like damage from the first issue goes on into the second one. And you guys talked backstage about how you planned that out. Can you let us in on how that worked between you guys, Anthony?
So while I was starting the second issue, it might have even been like a bit into the issue, but I knew that there was a big thing with Superguys. We're in the city, the big city, so you're always going to get shots of the buildings, the streets, everything. In our first issue, Superguy and Robotguy have a huge city destroying battle. It's a part of the story, of the plot.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really want to treat that as like, it happens and then the city's just magically back to normal. We've destroyed the White House and we see that it has to be rebuilt. So the city has to be the same, right? But this is a comic, right? We live in the real world. So I had to ask Joey, I said, hey, if I said the city was still destroyed, would that make your job a lot harder? Because now it's not only that you have to keep drawing buildings and windows and stuff, but now some of them are cracked and smoking, some parts of so like if Joey said yes, he's like, yeah, we could do that. And I love that we decided to do that. And you can see from the very first, it's not even the first, it's technically the first page of the comic, but it's just the recap page. And Joey draws, and you can see this on the Kickstarter page, but Joey drew the city. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that, Joey.
Yeah, so it's like an overhead kind of shot, just kind of introducing you to the big city and catching up with the events of last issue. But you can see that like there's a lot of like rubble and like a lot of debris and smoke coming up, and there's just still destruction carried over from the events at the end of issue 1. And it took a while, as you can see. Like there's a lot of detail, which like drawing it, like, oh, this is going to look so good. This is awesome. Yes, yes, yes. And then coloring it, I'm just like, God, I hate you. What did you do this for? So many buildings and so many, but like, you got to push through it, and you got to trust the process, and it end result speaks for itself, I think.
So how do you approach Anthony's scripts when you get ready to design a panel or draw up a page?
Well, for this script, there were like distinct, like panel 1 this happens, panel 2 this happens, so like at least I had that to kind of go off of as far as panel layout, which helped. And it was good to have a bit of a rein in, whereas last issue I just kind of went wild a little bit, and there was just panels all over the place. And but yeah, so I don't know. Like I read the script and I just kind of see it in my head as if it was just a comic book page, and I just kind of fiddle with that on the iPad until it comes out looking how I see it in my head. I know that sounds like such a cop out cliche answer, but I don't know how else to describe it.
Well, like if we go to the first, because the first page is there. If we want to go there, I could definitely explain like what I put in the script versus what like the magic Joey added to it.
Man, these covers are hot.
They're so cool. They're
Real
so
quick.
cool.
I love like the hard eyes. Oh my God, this is so good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Adrian Kolaric, awesome.
Oh God, dude. And his style is so unique too.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And then this is fucking fire. Yeah. Oh my God, dude.
They're also good. And that's of course Bane breaking Batman's back. That's the homage there.
And then everything in the background, it's just perfect.
It's so good. The detail.
Yeah. Joey's new cover.
Updated.
Yeah, that's the one shot plus the first issue, so everyone could catch up. So yeah, so this is the first page, right? It's 4 panels. And so here's something interesting, right? One of the panels is it's like the kind of Polaroid you would get if you went on like Splash Mountain or something like that. And that's such an inventive way to show it, right?
And so much is happening in it too. The dude's getting like just shot, like it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So this kind of thing, right? Like I guess what I wrote in the panel is that they're on like a log flume, and the president's getting shot, but a Secret Service agent is saving him. But like I'm not saying like how like the way like the president's daughter looks in that shot and the way the president's still enjoying it, like that's a detail that Joey adds that makes it hilarious, you know, like she's
well, the way it carries over too. Whoop. Hold on, the way it carries over from the first panel too, like he's laughing in the first panel, then he's laughing in the Polaroid again.
Right, he's laughing.
He's just having a good old time.
Yeah, and then you can just tell like the daughter is just like, yep, life sucks.
Yeah, exactly. He's holding up like a legislation that says like anti-women's rights. Like that was a detail I added, but you know, just to show he's a horrible person. His wife is standing by him, but she's like kind of like WTF, like what's going on? But like, okay, what the president is doing here in the first panel is also like this scene is like Joey's magic, right? Like I didn't say there's like a one of his like friends, whoever's with him, has like his tie around his head, and they're like all like, you know, he's doing something special there. You know, they're having a good time at this party. Like that's. I can't even say that was implied. Like Joey just made that all come to life by me saying there's like a party happening, you know? So like that's the part of comics that I'm trying to get better at, but also like I'm sure Joey doesn't want me to be like, this is exactly what you should draw, you know, like that in certain panels, yes, but I try to keep that really to a minimum.
If there are specific details or whatever, absolutely. Otherwise, you know. It's
a collaborative process, right? I think that's, you know, where comics really shine the best, when the writer and the artist are working together. They're both bringing, you know, their talents to the table, and they're doing what they're supposed to do, right? Artist is supposed to draw. They're just supposed to do their thing. Throw it down.
Hell yeah.
So this is awesome. This introduction to Hot Mess. I thought that was a phenomenal name.
Yeah.
And a great introduction. What happened to this character to get her to this point?
So she is the president's daughter. If you've been reading since the one shot, she's mentioned right away. She's one of the first people mentioned. She was kidnapped by presumably aliens, which are Robotguy's people.
Was that the reflection right here?
Yes, exactly. Okay. That's a callback. That is a callback. And so we never saw her in the one shot, right? We never had this idea for it, but what we're trying to do is just keep building on what we've done so that the world feels real and lived in, and we're not, you know, I don't want it to feel random. Like we're just like, this happens next. Like I'm really trying to make sure our story like flows like issue to issue, but that each issue does also feel distinct enough for its own adventure. Like, you know, my date with the president's daughter is different from our first issue, which is, you know, a clash between Superguy and Robotguy.
The fucking Ugg boots too. I love them, dude.
Again, that's a detail that Joey added. I never said in the script like she's wearing Uggs. I wouldn't even think of that, but it's genius, you know.
So right here is the infamous tally on the wall. I loved it when I read that. I put it in my notes. I'm like, tally question mark, like. And I was so happy to see it, and like it's just duct taped. It's not even nailed. That's how lazy this guy is.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that one.
Superguy also doesn't have a lot of money, you know. He's just some dude. He lives in an apartment, you know. He doesn't live in like, you know, a fortress of solitude or like a nice Wayne Manor type place.
So one thing I really enjoyed was him like reminiscing on what it felt like a past, like yes. But we're introduced to Glorious Guy and other villains. There was a couple heroes and villains introduced within this couple of pages that I even read too. I read the whole thing, but within the first couple of pages, you're introduced to a couple of new guys.
Yeah.
Are we going to see those people in later issues?
Guess you got to keep reading. I don't know. I will say this, and we've talked about it a lot, but in other podcasts and shows, but it's like no secret. Like we're not trying to have like throwaway characters, you know, like we don't want anything to feel like that. Like nothing is like too frivolously like thrown in. And if we put in again, like sometimes Joey throws in a detail and I'm like, huh, you know, like I have ideas just because of this robe, you know, that I didn't think of. You know, as a writer, I'm not necessarily thinking like, oh, he's wearing this, so this should like affect some, you know, but like it should, like it really should, because those are real details. So like, yeah, we introduced a lot of villains in the first issue. But as we're talking about, things from the one shot that you might not have thought would come into play are now coming into play in this issue. And I'm not, you know, we're not trying to bite off too much more than we could chew. You know, we're just making our own indie comic, and like, but what I really love about things like the big two, and their like forever long continuity is like when details matter and you can call back to certain things, and it just makes the world feel richer and more lived in. And I'm trying to do that, but also make it matter.
Yeah.
And also Joey has such great designs for characters, like let's keep using them.
Yeah, the package thief I thought was hilarious. You know, you see him throwing the box, then he acts all sad and depressed, and then he throws the piss bottles. And I was like, dude, let's fucking go. Because I mean, like sometimes, you know, I get it. Sometimes you got to piss, and sometimes only thing you got is a bottle, right?
Yes, sir.
So how did this character's creation come about?
Okay, this is really silly. Like I don't think I've said this yet, but I'll explain it because I feel like I don't know. Okay, so like the package thief, right? He's just like an Amazon worker, someone like that. Like he's explaining to Robotguy, like I'm trying to be as silly as possible, right? But maybe like if you dig a little deeper, and maybe me explaining it kind of like diffuses this, but he's talking about something that would be pretty real, I guess. Like, you know, like you might, you know, not really have the best life if like that's, you know, that's like your main job.
Yeah.
And like he's having a real moment with Robotguy, and Robotguy is like, you know, empathizing with him. And actually him having like bottles of pee, like, yes, I'm making it funny, but like that's also like a huge deal where like Amazon won't let their workers take a break, right, to even go pee. Like that's ridiculous, right? So like I'm not trying to like make fun of that, but like just kind of, if you weren't thinking that, like you might randomly think about that when you're reading this. I don't know if that's actually happening when you read it. But
so is this like a pocket sand reference?
A little bit of that too, yeah.
Pocket piss.
Pocket sand, pumpkin bombs, yeah.
So let's go ahead. Let's look at rewards. For everyone that is watching, there is the link. Be sure to check it out with us if you're able to back. We would love to see it, but simply putting that wherever you can. Word of mouth is 100% free, and it costs you nothing. You can get issue 2 digitally for $5. Outstanding price. How many pages is the digital copy going to be?
So the digital edition is 28 pages, but probably more, honestly. The story itself is 28 pages.
We have the physical copy at $10, which is an outstanding price. Awesome price on that. We have that variant cover, all 3 of them at 15. Awesome that you kept them all at the same price as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have a thank you tier at 15, so your name will be added to the special page in the comic. It includes a physical copy of issue 2 too, so awesome there. We have the Joey Murphy sketch cover. So Joey, go ahead, take the wheel, and let us know what this is about.
Yeah, so you get this one. I will hand draw a one-of-a-kind special cover on your particular comic book issue, and you'll have the only one in the world. So,
is there any certain like rules or regulations?
No, I just draw it. They don't like. I'll come up with it. Or is that what you mean?
Is it like, do they tell you what they want? You just draw it. Is there something you won't draw or anything?
No, I'm just gonna draw
cover a feet. Here we go, baby.
Yeah. not commission style.
Okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood that. I thought it was a commission style. So you just draw what you want to?
I'll draw like a one-of-a-kind Superguy comic.
I got you. Okay. All right. No, my apologies for the misunderstanding on that.
It's all good.
No, maybe it's not even too clear on the Kickstarter, but Maybe I have to change that.
You know, maybe that was just me looking quick at it too, because it does say an exclusive personalized sketch. So
Yeah.
just
I
should
guess
maybe I need to just read a little bit more, you know, between the lines.
no. I guess what we just meant by that is like, you know, whatever Joey's drawing is just for you. It's a Superguy sketch. It's a black and white sketch. And you know, no one's gonna have that one because it's
Yeah,
Joey's doing
yeah.
it just for you. I guess that's what it meant, but no, I guess
Uh,
that's good to, you know, clarify.
we have the complete cover bundle at 75, so this will include all the covers for Superguy issue 2, along with the Super Deluxe edition, plus free digital copies of 1 and 2 as well, and the Super Package too. So Anthony, what's included in the Super Package?
So just like the first campaign, we are kind of keeping this simple, even simpler, I would say, because we had a few extra things here. Here you're just getting all the covers that were just mentioned, but we also have a pinup by Andrea Shivani. It's like a Superguy and Robotguy selfie while like meteorites are like hitting the city.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. We also have everyone just getting a pinup automatically. It's that this is by an artist called Wizard Shit. He's on Instagram. It's also on the Kickstarter page, but everyone gets a physical copy. Everyone that backs any physical tier gets that pinup for free. But we haven't added it to the page yet, but I'll announce it here first because we were talking about it today, but I had to work out some details. Those are worked out. That pinup we're gonna add as an add-on. So we have like less than 2 weeks to go. So maybe to drum up a little bit more interest, maybe of people who already back something, we're gonna turn that into a special foil cover.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Foil covers are always so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So that's gonna be added to the page this week. But yeah, so like the super package is just every reward you could get. It's pretty much just all covers, plus some thank you and the pinups. You know, we funded in a few days, which I'm grateful for. We've got a lot of support, and we want to keep making more super guys. So of course we could use all the support we could get. The more the merrier. But you know, I think whether or not I don't know, super guys just it's fun to make, you know, we just want to keep making more.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. So, Joey, for anyone who might be on the fence about backing, what would you like to say to them to help push them over that hump?
You know, this is a great chance for you to support local art and indie comics. And, you know, the best thing in the world is to make me happy. So make me happy and back an art comic.
And I love how many
Please.
times the White House gets destroyed too. Is that going to be like a gimmick for you guys?
Totally,
hope
totally.
so.
Yeah, no, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah,
I
like
love it.
it's
I
like-
love it.
Like when Kenny dies every episode, it's like, oh no, every issue, the White House will get destroyed, but it will be back to normal by the next issue.
Yeah.
Whereas the big city will not.
And again, we did it before Captain America Brave New World, so they copied us.
Yeah, they stole that from us.
So, Joey, I know this is your first time on the show, but I always love wrapping things up with a piece of advice and then what you guys are up to outside of creating. So I think we'll do a cool little spin on this. And since we have a writer and an artist team, let's have that advice kind of targeted towards a collaboration process. So for your respective roles, Anthony and Joey, and we'll start with Anthony first. For a artist-writer team out there, what would be some of your biggest do's and don'ts to help that collaborative process work smoothly?
Definitely, like, you know, be open to ideas, you know, don't be like, this is my idea, that's what it shall be, you know. I think, you know, it's good to have strong ideas, but I like being on the same page. I would hate to like have Joey begrudgingly be like, oh, I have to draw this dumb fucking idea for, you know, like, no, like, because I think when the comic works best is when we are on the same page, you know, like we're only bouncing ideas off each other, and like, you know, if it works for Joey and it works for me, then that's my confidence that it will work for whoever decides to read it, you know? So be open to ideas and, you know, definitely be able to take feedback and like criticism, you know. Like if something wasn't funny, I wouldn't want to force it in because I just thought it was funny, you know? Like in that sense, I'm fine with killing my darlings. But at the end of the day, I want it to be, you know, the best thing it could be. And the best thing it could be is when if you're working with with two or like, what am I trying to say? If you're working with one or more people, make it everyone's best project and not just your best project.
And Joey, what about you from an artist perspective, working with a writer? What would be some of your biggest do's and don'ts to help that process work smoothly?
Well, honestly, a lot of what Anthony said, but I would also add, like, don't be too like hung up on like a specific design, because it might be great. Like this really hasn't happened with me and Anthony, but just in general, because like depending on what the writer might have in mind, it might not be exactly, but like you can't be like, but this is what I think it should be, because that's just not how it works. You gotta, be able to collaborate and be able to, be a bit malleable, but also, know your limits, I guess. I don't know. I'm not very good at advice. Just make me happy.
I'm happy. Consume product, back product. So, what are you guys
No,
up
but really,
to?
Anthony nailed it.
What are you guys up to outside of creating? Anthony, we'll start with you again. I seen that you picked up Pokemon.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I started playing Fire Red.
Hey.
I haven't gotten too far. Yeah, like I see people online talking about this, but I'm like an old school gamer. When Pokemon Blue came out, that was like my first Pokemon game, and I played the crap out of that. So like the grinding is not like that word doesn't exist for me in Pokemon. Like I get like because I haven't really played the newer games too much. So that's just how Pokemon is to me. Like you go, you level up, you go back. Like
oh
that's
man,
just
we are two completely different. Like I made all my team. Like, I have a Butterfree already. Before I even went to Brock,
wow, nice.
my entire team was level 10, and then Charmander level 15, one level away from being Chameleon. But I couldn't push through. I wanted to, but it's like, dude, you're getting so like little XP, and it's taking forever.
Yeah,
it's like eventually, it's like, okay, I gotta go.
It's kind of like a Zen kind of experience. I don't know, like, because again, that's just my experience with the game. Like, yeah, I remember like later on, like in like I think in Ruby and Sapphire, you get the XP share.
Yeah, dude, that is.
Yeah.
These young kids have it made.
Yeah.
All right, because I'm telling you, back in my day, when you had AA batteries, all right, you had to put them in the freezer to get a little bit extra juice. You're playing Street Light in the car, like, dude.
Yeah, the Game Boy didn't have the backlight. God,
you had to get the worm light, and that killed your battery even faster.
Oh my god.
So, what shows, what movies are you watching, Anthony?
What did I just watch? Oh, I started watching because the movie just came out and I want to see that. Nirvana, the band, the show.
I seen that. I heard it was really good.
Yeah.
What is that?
So it's kind of like the best way I could describe it, and it's not even entirely accurate. It kind of feels like Always Sunny meets Nathan For You a little bit. Like parts of the they're like two dudes, and every episode it's a Canadian show. All they're trying to do, you never really see them perform music too much, even though they're saying they're a band. One guy's playing piano a lot.
So it has nothing to do with Nirvana?
No, nothing at all.
Okay, I love when shows just like totally throw you off for no reason at all. It's like, damn, dude, brilliant.
Yeah, no, nothing to do with Nirvana at all. But that's like an ongoing joke. Like when so like every episode they're trying to book a gig at this place called the Rivoli, and like they can never make it happen. But like a lot of times they'll call and like they'll get through and they'll be like Nirvana. They're like, no, Nirvana the band, and like it'll always be advertised as Nirvana. So like it always like with that idea going, like it's just so funny. But they're like kind of jerks about it. Like they'll try to get booked on the show no matter, they'll really do messed up stuff. Like they steal a Make-A-Wish kid in one episode. It's kind of messed up. But like also in certain segments, they're actually like filming on the streets of Canada.
That's cool.
And like interacting with real people. And that kind of informs the story. Sometimes they'll just like go with it. It's really cool. It came out in like 2017. So like, it's not like it's brand new, but the movie just came out. So
okay,
I haven't seen that yet.
The band, the show, the movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out. And did you see that Kurt Cobain was recently ruled not a murder, like a suicide? It was like it's now like being looked at as a murder.
Holy shit! What?
Like why? So many years later, it's like Jesus Christ! Like we tried telling you this years ago.
Damn.
So Joey, what are you up to outside of creating?
Well, outside of creating and when I'm not at work, I'm also playing Pokemon, but just Go. It's a completely different thing, but it's all
That
I have
changed
time
the
for these
world
days.
when it dropped.
Hell yeah.
It really did. Like I came out, I remember being like, "Oh, this is really cool" for like a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, this is just a lot of the same thing. I'm kind of done with it." And then it's like it heard, and I was like, "Oh, we got a new thing. Check this out." I was like, "Oh, okay, well, I'll see
Dude,
what
like
this
my
is." Kinda
entire
neat.
town like
It-
went by. Dude, I remember the walkways where all the Pokestops were. Just people flock there.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's like the community for like just like a week or two just like embraced. There was peace. There was peace.
and it slowed down, but then it picked back up during COVID, and I was just like,
Mhm.
"Well, I'm outside. I'll just do this." And it was like, "Here's new things. Here's new things." And I was just like, "Well, it's kind of interesting now." And every time I get bored with it, something new happens, and I'm like, "Well, just when I think I'm out,
So
they suck me back in."
if you have a Switch, you can actually like the Hey You Pikachu and Eevee, you can transfer Pokemon from Go to that game, I think.
Yeah, you could.
Oh shit!
Yeah, dude.
I am so far behind in the Pokemon
Yeah.
game stuff. I feel so old.
Yeah, I caught a shiny Vaporeon. I think I transferred it over and had the shiny Vaporeon in the game. Yeah, it's a lot of it's home based. I think that's why they remade the Fire Red and Leaf Green, so they can just be like, "Hey, 1999 with the home expansion. Now you have a reason to consume." Like, they had me. I was a sucker
How they
for
get
it.
you?
That's how they
So-
got me.
Everyone that is watching, here is a link. Be sure to check it out. We have Comics for All live joining us over on YouTube. Thank you for stopping in. I hope you're having a fantastic night. So last but not least, before we let you guys go, what is up for you in the future? Are there any other comics or books that we can look forward to that you might be dropping?
For me, yeah, I just finished up a 10-page zombie story. That's going to be in a zombie anthology coming out. I don't know when that's being released, but that's a really cool project. I'm excited to put out there. I might have another anthology story out there later this year. But Superguy 3, of course, is what
Superguy
Yeah.
3.
the
Let's
next
go.
the next chapter is always being worked on. So look for that hopefully by next year.
That is awesome. Joey, what about you?
Yep. Also, Superguy 3. I've been meaning to do this. A few years ago, I wrote this like kids book called Dinosaur Daycare, and it's like each page was like a little nursery rhyme type of thing, like saying what this little dinosaur guy is doing. And it was super cute and adorable. And then like on the last couple of pages, the asteroid strikes and everybody dies. So like, I was a bit of in a dark place when I was writing that, but I thought it was hilarious.
dude.
But there's spoiler alert though, happy ending. It starts over. Now it's mammal daycare, and then the book ends. So it's like, oh, it's sad, but like,
love
they're
it.
still going.
I love
But,
it, and I feel like
I
it has to be made.
Yeah, so I'm. It's old. It's like I don't know, 2017 was when I did it, and like I feel like my artwork has like vastly improved since then. I just
Mhm.
want to kind of like re-up it and like see if I can make it look a little bit better, and then get that out there into the world because I think it's hilarious. Like you think it's just this cute little like children's book, and like, oh, we're gonna
Mhm.
read a book and go to bed, and then all of the cute little beloved dinosaurs that you fell in love with for the last 30 pages are obliterated. Good night.
I love reading dinosaur stories to my kids, but dude, some of those dinosaur names are just impossible to pronounce.
Yep.
And I don't know whoever came up with them, but like when you start getting to like the 7-syllable names, I'm like done. Hit him with the asteroid again, I'm done. So everyone that is watching, check out Superguy issue 2. It was a phenomenal read. I had a blast, and you guys will too. If you're able to share it, we would love to see that because that is absolutely free to do, and it costs you nothing. With that being said, it is time for us to wrap up. Anthony and Joey, thank you guys for swinging by. Thank you for swinging by and having a fantastic time with us as well. I hope you all have an awesome night, but most importantly, keep it geekly.